Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video, and if you clicked on it, you probably know what it's going to be. It's right there. It's tips on studying for your finals. I know this is a video that a lot of people probably are going to be searching. A lot of people are going to be wanting tips on how do you survive finals week. It's terrible. I would know. It's horrible. It sucks. You gotta do it though. Gotta make it through. So I'm going to be giving you my studying tips on what is most important I think you need to do, especially if you're a freshman. I get it. It sucks. You're coming out of junior high where you really just didn't have to do anything. Whatever you got in the class, you got in the class, and summer school wasn't looming over you. Things have changed. You're in high school now. It's just the way it is, and I remember being a freshman totally freaking out, having panic attacks, because it's terrible. How am I supposed to remember things that I learned in January when it's June? It's crazy, but there is a way to pass through your finals. You're going to be fine. I'm going to give you some of my personal tips on what helps me out for surviving the month of May when all hell is breaking loose, because you realize finals week is coming up. My first major tip is ask your teacher what's going to be on the test. Just raise your hand like, hey, so we haven't started class yet, or now that there's extra time at the end of class, can you just go over what chapter is going to be on the test, or what we need to make sure we study, Because when you think about it, the tests are usually about 70 questions. That's probably the range of how many questions are going to be on each final. You learned a lot in the last 6 months, and a lot of it's not going to be on the test. So at least just try to figure out from your teacher what the big things are that are definitely going to be on there. Like this chapter, everything's on there. Or like this chapter, there's like one question from it. So you're not spending so much time studying how to do this when you should be studying how to do that. My next tip is going to be to do the study guide. And it's one of those things most high schoolers don't do, and you're definitely missing out. When your teacher gives you a study guide, if they do, which most teachers probably are going to give you a final study guide, whether or not they count it as like points, I know some of my teachers just give them out and they're like, just do it, it's not for points, here you go. And a lot of kids are like, woo, it's not for points, bye. Don't do that. You need that final study guide. When you think about it, they're pretty much handing you the test. They're like, this is what's going to be on the test. Your teachers don't just put a bunch of random things on there to like torture you. They figure out strategically what's going to be on the test. This is what I'm putting on the study guide. Your study guide is like your practice test. Everything that you're going to need to know is on there. So just do it, study it. Even if you don't study it afterwards, writing it down will help you, because I don't know what I learned in January in things like history or biology. Why am I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to know that? So it kind of helps to like be going through it and like this definition, you're like, I definitely don't remember what that means. And you can look it up real quick. And then maybe on the test, even if you don't do anything else, do the study guide, because later you'll be like, I remember that. Oh, that's right. This is this. I looked this up. And it just kind of helps connect in your brain a bit better. My next tip is going to be study, but study with people if you can. And you know yourself better than anybody else. So you know if you can go and study with your best friend and you're actually going to get work done. I have people who I love to death that I would never study with because, one, maybe they aren't super smart, maybe they haven't been paying attention, maybe I know that they're not going to want to be doing it. Or two, I know I'm going to goof off with you. I know we're not going to do anything. We're going to end up talking or gossiping or messing around, and 2 hours have gone by that you weren't studying at all. So find your smart friends, that group of geeks that you keep around. This is where they're going to come in handy. And I'm one of those geeks. So, not hating, but come on. You really have to buckle down and be like, no, I can't study with you. I'm sorry. We're just going to mess around. It's not going to work. Study with the people who you can get work done and also enjoy having to be with them. And that's really, you got to study with people that you can trust. And you know who is going to study and who isn't. Don't try to trick yourself. You know what's going to go down if you study with him or if you study with her. Okay, the next tip. Don't wait till the last minute. For me, I have 3 weeks until finals, and I've been studying, I've been doing my study guides, all that stuff. And I know people who haven't even touched anything. You really can't wait until the last minute, because there's really, once you realize it, it's an abundance of information that you need to know. It's going to be overwhelming, and your brain is going to be overloading with all these formulas, especially math formulas. Oh my god, it's crazy. You really need to get a system down, and my system, I would say, is about maybe in 45 minutes, an hour a day, just focus that one day on one subject. So every Monday for an hour up until all the month, until finals, study this. Tuesday, study this. Wednesday, study this. And just get a routine in so you're not studying everything on one day or everything at once, because you're going to get crazy and then you're going to be like, I don't want to do this. It's so much work. And you're just going to give up, and you don't study for finals at all that way. So at least take some time every day on your off time when you're bored or you're not doing anything or just laying around on your phone. Turn it off. Go study. Go do something. You can text while you write things down. It's not that difficult. That kind of goes along with my next tip, which is break up the work. Do everything in a orderly fashion. Don't do every study guide at once. Take time. Really try to absorb the information of what you're writing down, of what you're figuring out. And definitely write things down. It's a scientific study that when you write things down, you're going to remember it better. So, maybe you're a hearing learner, maybe you're an audio learner, I think it's called, visual learner, artistic learner, whatever you are, figure it out and do what works for you. For me, it's writing things down. And for a lot of people, I think it is writing things down. Because usually if I write down a definition enough times, I'm going to remember it. It's just one of those things, I guess. My next one is going to be set goals. So, no, don't just go and hang out with your friends at the mall on Saturday. Set a goal where it's like, if I get this much done, and I study this much, and I study this and this, and I do this, make a checklist, put reminders on your phone. Then I can go to the mall. And then it kind of gives you something to look forward to, But also be, serious with yourself. Don't be like, I can't go to the mall unless I do this. But then when Saturday rolls around and you haven't done anything, don't be like, I'll go anyway. You have to really kind of punish yourself, keep yourself grounded, I have to get things done. And you're the only person who's going to be able to make you study for finals. Your mom can try to sit you at the kitchen table and make you study, but you, in the end, are going to be the person who decides if you're texting on your lap or if you're actually trying. So if you don't want to study, then don't, but you're the only one who can make that decision for yourself, and you probably aren't the, most hard worker. I think we're all a little lazy, but when you think about it, it's 1 month, That is a goal. Summer is coming around. Do you want to be going to summer school, or do you want to just spend 2 weeks of your life really studying hard? That's all what it comes down to. Balance out your options. The next thing is to figure out what you need to get on your final. And I know there's a formula where it's you take the percent or something of both your quarter grades, and then I don't really know what it is, but I'm sure if you ask your teacher, especially your math teacher, or you just Google how to figure out what you need on your final, you can figure it out. And I know this works wonders because it helps you figure out what do you really need to be working on and what do you not so much need to be working on. I know first semester, I'll do my example, is I got a 105 in my English class both quarters. I'm really good at English. I got exceeding 100% both quarters. And when I did my little formula thing, I didn't even need to take my final to pass my class. So, obviously I had to take the final because it's required at school. What I'm saying is I could have gotten a 0 and I would have been fine. So that kind of takes so much stress off English final. You know what I mean? You don't need to study that much in English. You're going to be fine. And then it's geometry. I had a B both quarters, which might seem like, okay, that's all right. But if I fail the final, I'm probably not going to be going, you know what I mean? I have to take that final. So it does help, especially if you have rocky ones, like a B and then a D, what do I need to get? And then it kind of helps you figure out how much you need to study for that one course, Especially this quarter, I know I need to study geometry massively because I have a C both quarters and I am so afraid of summer school. I really don't want to go to summer school for geometry, so I know I'm going to be studying those formulas like hell. That is a big thing, is figure out what you need to get, and then it'll kind of take stress off summer finals, oh, I only need to get 20% on this, I can do that right now. Or, oh, I need to get an 80 on this, and to buckle down on that subject. Okay. My next one is just going to be this one's kind of a big one, is for English, if you're bad at English, make flashcards for English. Especially for vocab, because I know vocab is a big part of mine. For math, I know formulas are a big part of algebra. If you're in Algebra 1 freshman year, if you're in geometry, there's formulas. If you're in Algebra 2, there's formulas. There are formulas for everything. And you're not going to get a nice little sheet of all your formulas written out for you. You have to memorize that stuff. So what I would say is figure out, write down all the formulas you think you're going to need, and then ask your teacher, what of these formulas am I going to need? And they will probably tell you Like, teachers don't hate you. They don't want you to fail. They don't want you to go to summer school any more than they want to be teaching summer school. Trust me. So they'll help you out. They'll tell you, like, this is what you need to know. You don't need to know this one. You do need to know this one. And then work on that. Study those formulas. And here's another tip. The second you get your test, write it down, okay? I always will study my formulas before a math test. And the second I get math test, I write all of them down right away. That way I have them to look back to. I don't have to try to remember them later on. Just have a sheet, like a little note card of all the formulas written down. Study it until the moment you get your test, and then put it down, write them all down right away. I think it's the best way to study for math, for formulas, because then you don't have to worry about it. I've always done that for my math tests. It's a great strategy, I think. Yeah. So those are all my tips. Just to sum up, just study. You need to do your study guides, write in your notes, organize your notes, get a plan down of when you're going to study, what you're going to study then. Figure everything out ahead of time, and you won't be so stressed out the Sunday before the Monday finals start. And it is rolling around the corner. I have 3 weeks. I know some people have less than that because you don't have snow days to make up like we do. So just really get a game plan down, and remember, it's not that bad. It's 3 weeks of hardcore studying and learning and cramming, and then summer. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to remember anything. So just keep looking forward to, this is just 3 weeks of my life. You can get past this. So that is my study tips video. I hope it helped at least a little bit. Please subscribe, like this video, all that jazz. And I think I am going to be doing 1 or 2 more videos about finals, kind of like a final series. But how to do your morning before finals start, how to spend that, what to do, all kinds of things. So comment below if you want a video like that, and thank you for watching. Bye.